All right, you are Kadesha Eli.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Eli was previously in court, entered pleas of true to a motion to revoke probation on probation for injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual. Entered pleas of true to counts 1 through 8. I've received an updated report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yeah,
Are there any additions or corrections?
nothing to finish.
Come from the state, Your Honor, unless Ms. Lopez has anything additional to her updated PSI.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lopez. And there was not an agreement, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Lewis, you may proceed.
Well, Judge, Ms. Eli, like I said, was previously placed on probation out of this court. Early on during her probationary period, it seems she had been doing really well, doing well, or has been able to comply with the terms of probation. During that time, of course, she had started having personal setbacks as far as her living situation, as far as where she would live and things of that nature. I believe at some point she did talk with probation about that, as far as trying to get some help with that. And it seemed to be working out well, even gotten to, I think she was living with your mother, your grandmother. And it seemed to try to get back on track, but at some point that situation didn't work out for her either. And that's when things started to really go downhill fast as far as the not reporting and things of that nature. And it snowballed on her. Since she's been in custody, she has been able to secure a more stable living situation, of course, with her brother, that will be available to her if the court decides to reinstate her. Also, employment. She has some employment options that's available to her as well. That I think that was her main problem or issue was stability. And I think since during this time, while she was already searching for these options, Judge, but they, unfortunately, by the time they became available to her, she was in custody. Now, when I talk about the situation with her brother, for the living situation, that's also one of the job situations as well. Her brother works with Zumo Sausages, the Zumo company, and she actually worked there for a temporary period of time a while back, early on, and that job fell apart, but looks like it'll be open again for her to go back. So that's essentially what it comes down to. Just she's asking now that she's stable to try to see if she can have the opportunity to get out there and complete the probation like she initially tried to and wanted to.
What's the status of the theft in Orange, the new offense?
For as we know, the situation in Orange, there hasn't been a court date or anything up there. So it's still in limbo,
But
at this point, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Malfino?
Judge, I think it's fortunate that we're not here on a violation that involves a child based on the underlying nature of this probation. I also think it's unfortunate that she doesn't have any felony offenses, was given this many opportunities, and as this court is well aware, a very good officer to work with in Ms. Lopez, and she has not done what she has been required by this court to do. So I would stand with Ms. Lopez's recommendation and defer to any other comments she might have.
So, Ms. Eli, the problem that I have is that when you first got on your probation, we sent you to the cognitive track of ISF so that you could get tools to be able to be successful and do better and make it through probation. And when you got out of ISF, you were put on the high-medium caseload so that you would have help with all of these issues that Mr. Lewis is talking about. Help with places to live and with jobs, and you were given all of that. And so for me to say, okay, you've already been given all that and you didn't take advantage of it to give you some other opportunity and just let you out when I've already given you these sanctions, and the underlying case is just very, very serious, and the fact that you got a probation was a big chance. And if you hadn't already been to ISF, then maybe I'd be thinking about, okay, let's do ISF or let's do something to give you some tools to do better. But we did that. and you didn't take advantage of it. So at this time, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 8 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence at this time to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of the offense of injury to a child. Sentence you to a term of 4 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. This is not a plea agreement, and so you do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Lewis about that. I'm handing you the trial court certification. It shows you do have that right to appeal. I need your signature on that, and I'll get you a copy of it. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Lewis.
And that's where this case leaves us. For years in prison, credit for eligible time already served, and a clear warning about firearm possession. The judge had already offered multiple chances and treatment. No, the consequences are final. Do you think the 4-year sentence was fair?
All right, you can sign that, and y'all can take the bottom 2 copies. See, Leonard Guillory, Mr. Lewis.